kilómetros. Se lo regalo.
Living in a small place in Todos Santos in the winter of 2012, I found myself frequently exploring a nearby wilderness area, the Sierra Laguna. From town, this mountain range erupts to the east over 7,000 feet above sea level, dividing Baja's southern cape severely down the middle. In 1994, UNESCO designated the Sierra a biosphere reserve due to its unusually high rates of endemic species and biodiversity. With an average rainfall of 40 inches per year, these mountains source a majority of water for the 500,000 thirsty residents living below. During my first month in Mexico, I began to notice street art splattered all across town, renouncing proposals by US-Canadian companies to open-pit gold mine in the Sierra Laguna. Following the 2011 financial crisis, demand for gold increased as people were pulling money out of unstable stocks and investing in gold. Mexico was added to the top 10 gold-producing nations, and mining operations scrambled there to explore new gold prospects. Open-pit mining is one of the most irresponsible methods of resource extraction on the planet. Each mine deploys heavy doses of cyanide and other heavy metals during the extraction process. One rice grain of this stuff in your system, and you're finished. Open-pit gold mines are abandoned after 10 years, while residual toxins, including arsenic, often leach into aquifers for centuries. Unfathomable amounts of water and oil go into open-pit production. There are reports of some operations using 100 million gallons of water a day. 80% of gold mine today is used for jewelry. That gold ring alone just generated 20 tons of waste. While grabbing lunch in town one afternoon, an old Mexican man, shadowed in folds of skin, shared a folktale with me. His story describes the 276,000-acre Sierra Laguna as one giant sleeping Indian. Before he drifted into his daily siesta, the man stared right through me to confess his fear about what might happen if we awakened the sleeping Indian by drilling for gold in those mountains. Over several years and trips through Baja, I had cultivated a strong relationship with this peninsula, with the people, and with these mountains. It felt violating that US-Canadian companies wished to gain access to these mountains to fill faraway pockets. I was embarrassed that my country's participation could quickly devastate the entire bioregion. Asking around, I began making connections with those responsible for the street art, those behind the local anti-mining resistance. I discovered that previous actions had all come from an influential local group, Agua vale más que oro, or water is worth more than gold. Agua vale más que oro was desperate for new campaign ideas and renewed energy. With previous experience organizing environmental protests, I came to the group with an idea. Protest run. One day, 70 miles. The first ever known crossing of the Baja Peninsula on foot, with as many participants as possible. Cutting through the very heart of the mountains where these companies plan to mine. We would start on the Sea of Cortez and not stop until we hit the Pacific Ocean, finishing with a large event in Todos Santos. Agua vale más que oro loved the idea, and so it began. I joined the group and traveled the entire region to meet with city commissioners, park directors, and news correspondents. Countless hours are spent preparing, studying maps, scouting mountain trails, and town hall meetings entirely in Spanish. A Chiapan street artist volunteered to design images for the protest, and banners were hung up in nearly every town in southern Baja. With press releases published and radio interviews recorded, when the day of action finally arrived, the whole peninsula was watching.
We're 5 minutes away from.
We're like a minute. We're like 5 seconds, man.
A minute away. All right, so getting focused.
Things are good, man.
This is over here, right?
Yeah, we're just going west.
We're going west.
So we find another ocean.
All right, excellent. So we got what, about 18 hours to go? You'd say?
About 18 hours later, yeah.
Okay, excellent, man. Yeah. All right, the day of truth.
It's happening right here.
The day of truth, and we'll be with you, I guess, till from here to Monte Picacho.
Good, man.
Right?
Following 2 hours of highway miles, we turn off the road to Santiago and flood the small town's plaza, joined by several more activists on bike and foot.
You look fresh, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. 2 hours. No worries. Got 15 more to go, you know?
Excellent, excellent.
Gotta keep it real.
We're there with you.
From here, pavement ends and dirt begins, pointing west towards the Sierra. There will be no more asphalt into the Pacific Ocean, 55 miles away. I take a moment to review the other protesters, runners and cyclists, male and female, young and old. Strangers only a few hours prior, we all now constitute a singular pedestrian philharmonic. One agent, one foot traveling resistor, breathing, doubting, loving, hurting, and fighting together. Ranches appear, and from them the soft eyes of their inhabitants. A ranch family I stayed with during an earlier scouting trip arrives to show their support. The oldest daughter, Betty, joins us to run until the end of the road. Covering 30 miles before 8 a.m., we finally reach the end of the dirt road. To my surprise, 2 participants announced that they will attempt the entire 70-mile crossing with me. The first guy is Pedro, short, fit, and fierce. The other, Eduardo, can't be more opposite. Thin, tall, and jovial. The mountains erupt before us, and our task now is to cross them. 6,000 vertical feet of climbing over an additional 25 miles of crumbling donkey trail in 90-degree heat. The ascent begins into the great jaws of the Sierra, into the spotlight of today's protest, into a wild space that deserves to dance unmolested, free from multinational checkboxes or mutilated mountainsides.
All right, so we're about 12 hours into this expedition. I'm descending the valle right now. I'm by myself. There's a few other guys behind me. I waited for them at the top for a while and they never showed up, and I felt like time was ticking and I feel like I needed to get down. The ascent was really difficult. way longer than I thought. But beautiful, and Ociel was there. My friend, he's a park ranger, and we paired up in the last half. I'm feeling pretty good. I got some cramping, like perma cramping going on in my legs. And other than that, my head's okay. Head's in a good space. I'm looking out at the 20 miles I have left to go. You can see Punta Lobos. I can see exactly the direction I'm taking. That's the end. I see the beach. You know, kind of getting a little frustrated here and there. That's kind of how it works at hour 12. But other than that, I'm feeling good. Super inspired by this beautiful place. I'm super inspired by this campaign. Super inspired to be crossing the entire peninsula on foot. And I have to let go of, you know, if I don't get there by sunset, I don't get there by sunset, and that's okay. It's all about just getting there at some point.
After 2 hours of searing, relentless downhill, the huge support group provides an overwhelming homecoming as we emerge from the mountain section.
I recognize that.
Can I buy you a beer?
Way to go. There's Eduardo.
Way to go, Nick, man.
Yeah, that was great.
Way to go, Eduardo.
With mountains to our backs, all that remains now is a 12-mile crawl of sand and rut to the Pacific Ocean. The last miles take all remaining fortitude. Energy and temperament drown with the setting sun. No physical mountains to cross now, just psychological Himalayans.
A 65-mile tramp? I can't say I know what that's like, man, I'm afraid.
Wouldn't recommend that.
You need some Gatorade? How you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah, I'm just kind of like,
What's the word in ambulance? Anything, you know?
nah, I think I'm gonna pick up Pedro.
How are your ankles feeling? Good?
I feel good. Yeah. I'm just a little wiped out, you know.
Blistered feet become bored as they can't rub much deeper.
Brighter than all the stars combined.
My body screams from the top of its lungs to stop, to curl up in the bush, fetal position, and just give up. After a never-ending monotonous trance, I finally see highway lights, and a raucous group of protesters joins me for the final stretch to the beach.
Well, we made it. 100 and some, 27 kilometers.
Ocean to ocean, right?
Mar, Costa Costa.
As we stumble onto the beach, dozens of supporters welcome us, lining the finish with flashlights and music.
That I couldn't bring myself to leave. It's bigger than love. Brighter than all the stars combined. Dwarfing the sun. Burning within my heart and mind.
Eduardo and Pedro arrive minutes later in an ambulance, all smiles and hobbles. Pedro's knee had buckled on the mountain descent, while Eduardo experienced full body cramping 2 miles from the finish. The three of us share a long embrace for the day's effort.
Tuvimos una día mágica con estos hombres más fuertes del mundo y muy cómico y
Our large group of protesters makes its way from the beach to Todos Santos. It's Saturday night and Todos Santos is electric. Hundreds of Mexican teenagers and families pile out of restaurants, and many watch as our protest moves through the streets.
Creo que hoy ha sido un logro muy importante para nuestra tierra, creo que para la causa, y creo que vamos a seguir para adelante luchando, y creo que vamos a defender y vamos a ganar.
Yo pues amo la sierra también, igual que Nick, igual que todos los que estamos aquí presentes, y mis expectativas no eran muy optimistas. Yo decidí participar hasta donde el cuerpo aguante. Y la verdad es que pues, supuse que iba a llegar hasta Dionisio, que son el equivalente a, no sé, es un maratón, ¿no? Wow, la verdad es que nos contó su vida, sus ambiciones. Híjole, la verdad es que dije, no, pues ¿cómo me la voy a perder? O sea, no puedo, tengo que seguir. Y pues seguí aquí al señor Nicolás, hasta donde el cuerpo aguantó. Un gran líder, y yo te invito a continuar con tu labor humana. Muchas gracias, y a don Mario también por excelente evento, una experiencia inolvidable.
Corrimos todo el día en las montañas, en un espacio muy mágico. Yo he corrido el Picacho y muchas montañas aquí por muchos años, y tengo una relación del espacio libre aquí. Tenemos que defender espacios libres, espacios salvajes. Es muy importante para tener una relación fuerte con los espacios. Tenemos que abrir nosotros ojos de las compañías multinacionales que quieren explotar el mundo. Este día es para las sierras, no es para deportes, es para la sierra. Bueno, es para las relaciones con la sierra, con los animales, con las plantas y con la gente buena. Mis amigos nuevos aquí, tenemos conectados por siempre después de este día. Y gracias por tu apoyo, y vamos a continuar esta resistencia, ¿no? Hasta no hay compañías extranjeras aquí en la sierra. Bueno.
The event swirls around us all night. Government delegates, doctors, biologists, and activists all take turns confirming that mining practices are not welcome in southern Baja and will receive nothing but opposition moving forward.